Word of Yahweh. Okay. He's moving so slow today. Let me be quiet and be thankful. There we are. All right, this Torah portion that we have for this week is called Sa. Sa. And what does Sa mean? Someone tell me. What does this mean?
Command.
It's a command. It's a charge. It's an order. Okay. That has been given by the King of the universe. Okay. It is actually the root. Okay. It's a root of your word mitzvah, which has to be the actual commandment. Okay. So commandment. Okay. Mitzvah. This is where they get it from. Okay. Actually, that letter za, you pronounce this letter right here as this two letters together. Za. Okay. Okay. It has a tss, 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 like in rat. Tss, tss, tss. Okay. This right here is a block for a block script handwriting style for what you would call the wa. Okay. The wa. Not the vav. It's not vav. It's the wa. Okay. So that's why we call it tzawa. Okay. Also, too, what is the creator's name when he goes to battle? Dr. Red, go ahead. Yeah, his name is Yahweh Tza Wa Oath. So you can see right there, Tza in it. Okay, and Tza Wa Oath means armies. Okay, but armies of what? What does a leader give to the armies? He gives them the tzav. He gives them the command. He gives them the order. The oath on the end tells us that it is feminine and that it is plural. So literally, when it talks about of armies, Yahweh Zava oath, he's literally talking about the Yahweh of the armies, but literally, it's Yahweh of the commands, because he commands the armies. If you notice this week in our Torah portion, he talks about commands. I'm giving a command. I've given a command to the sea, and I told the sea not to go past a certain point, and it won't go past that point. It listens to what I said. When I came to deliver the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim, I gave them, okay, the commands. I actually sent commands down for my armies to come in and to invade Mitzrayim. So that everyone is doing what I commanded to do. Your freedom is based upon my command. Oh, praise be to the living Elohim. That's what your freedom is based on. You're keeping a festival this week based upon a tzah. It's a command. See? And you're getting your commandments from the King of the universe. And we want to talk about that today. I want you to make sure that you have a pen and paper handy. Oh, praise Yah. Hold on for a second, you guys. Somebody is okay. Here's what it says. In our Torah portion, there's this idea about consecration that the Most High wants us to see. Okay. He says, you are not to go out from the entrance of the tent of meeting for 7 days until the days of your consecration are over. Since Yahweh will be consecrating you for 7 days. He ordered, meaning he commanded, to be done. Okay. What has been done today in order to make atonement for you. Okay. Now, this is Moshe talking to Aharon and his sons. You are to remain at the entrance to the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days, thereby obeying what Yahweh ordered, done, commanded, so that you may not die. For this is what I ordered. This is what I commanded. Moshe is telling them that if you listen to what I told you to do, based upon what the Most High told me, then you won't die. It's based on the command. Death and commandment will go hand in hand. He's letting us know, okay? So we're like, okay, Aaron and his sons went through a period of consecration. The consecration was for 7 days, and 7 days makes reference to this idea of being complete. That's the only way they were able to do their consecration. When you think about how the Most High made the earth in 6 days, and in the seventh day, he completed it. He consecrated. That's the reason why he consecrated the seventh day, which is the Shabbat. The consecration, for how long is our festival that we don't supposed to eat chametz and seor, unleavened leavened bread? How long? How many days? 7. So the Most High is giving us ideas to get us to understand what he's literally doing for us during this week of the Feast of Matzot. The Most High is consecrating not only our bodies, he's consecrating our minds. He's releasing our minds from the chametz and the seor, which we talked about last Shabbat, which has to do with violence, rage, and corruption. We saw that in our presentation about the bread, how it's lifted up, and it's not what's true. It's fake. Okay, it has the elements of bread, but it's really puffed up. It's not flat. It's not sincere. It's exaggerated. It's lifted up. So the Most High is going through this process with the children of Israel, okay, through the festival, to show them that I have a time in which I consecrate you to myself. We're not in the land, we're in exile, and yes, we do have uncleannesses about us, but there's moments in time which we cannot forget, that the Most High has days and he has times to consecrate his people. And the word that's being used for this is called milu, M-I-L-L-U. Okay, milu. Okay, and milu comes from this word mala. Okay, and mala means to be full. It means to be complete. See? So after he's done everything that he's asked them to do, there comes a time of them to be literally made full. And this word milu has to do with, they will call it an installation. To install. He was installing them into the priesthood. He was installing them. He's making a connection between them and the altar. He's making a connection between them and Yah. He's making a connection between them and the tent of meeting. He's making a connection by putting blood on their thumbs and then on their big toe and on their earlobes And the right thumb, right big toe, and the right ear. Okay. The order is the lobe, the right thumb, the right big toe. Okay. To install them. And I thought about, well, why would the Most High have us reading this? Because to be honest with you, the priesthood is nothing but an example of what the people are supposed to be. Listen, we all are going to have to come to a point of maturity and come into a point of being made full, coming to a point of being complete. Okay. We're going to be installed, okay, into the service of the Most High. And there's a process of consecration. You and I are literally in a training simulation right now. We're being trained. That's all he's doing. He's preparing us. He's training us. He's going through this with us. And he's seeing who's willing to follow, who's willing to go through the process, the training program, to see if really or not you're going to be part of this installation. While they're there for 7 days, they were being trained. They had to do the offerings every single day the same way. They didn't do the offering on day one. It's like it's all done. So we're good now. We got installed, so we don't have to practice. We don't have to learn. We don't have to go through this. They had to go through this step 7 days. Every single day, they had to go through it. Every single day in order to be complete. So the idea behind consecration, this idea behind being complete, has to do with going through practice. We have to practice. And that's what we're doing right now. And we should be honored to be installed into the service of the Most High. Now, we're not being installed at this very moment as priests, but what we're being installed into Yah's ways. To get to the Most High, you have to go through a process. To be with the Most High, you have to go through a training simulation. To be with the Most High, you have to be made in alignment. You have to be made straight. The Most High is not interested in crookedness. He's not interested in brokenness. He's not interested in that which is lacking. He's interested in every single detail of our lives. But there's been a problem with mankind, not just the children of Israel. See, we have to stop looking at what's happened with Israel only. As a result of Israel's rebellion, the earth has been put on timeout. They haven't been able to be called to their service. Oh, what happened? To their service, to the King of the universe, to the mighty Elohim, who made them too. They are his children too. You and I, Israel, are Yahweh's firstborn. He says that you're my firstborn. Not the only one. There's others. And we have to be the example. If we're the firstborn, we're supposed to be the one that Yah chose. We're supposed to be the best. This is the reason why he asked for the firstborn. This is the reason why he asked for perfection. This is the reason. It's not for ourselves. It's for the benefit of Yah's entire family. It's for the benefit of the widow and the stranger and the fatherless. There's not only widows in Israel. There's not only strangers in Israel. And it begins with one's heart. I have this text right here that talks about how the master of the universe said something. Remember, we're not a religious people. We're a people of relationship. So let's listen to what he said. He said, because that people has approached me with its mouth. And he honored me with its lips. You see? But kept its heart far from me. And its fear of me has been a commandment, a tzah, of men, learned by rote. I said, wow, I never heard that word wrote. R-O-T. What is R-O-T? What is rote? Rote has to do with that which is mechanical. A process of mechanics. Over and over and over and over again. Losing the vibrancy of the relationship. Losing the real understanding of why we do what we do. This week when we eat our matzah, when you pick that bread up, that unleavened bread, that matzah, you should have some. It's not, well, just give her the unleavened and that's it. No, you're supposed to be eating unleavened bread for 7 days. Every time you pick up a matzah, okay, and you take a bite of it, you're supposed to think, Most High got us out. He freed us. He set us free. What did he set us free from? I set you free from that which is harsh. I set you free from that which is cruel. I set you free from that which is violent. I set you free. I set you free from an environment that caused you unhappiness. I want you to experience in your home a place of peace and shalom. And the only way that you and I are going to ever achieve this is we have to get rid of these remnants and residue of things that causes disruption in our homes and in our lives. There's little pieces that are left from what we learned from our ancestors, from the people that have been cruel to them, have been very harsh and been very violent. They haven't been gentle. The Most High introduced these animals and birds and lambs and goats and some of these other things in order to tell us about what way he wants us to approach. Okay? So this idea about its heart is the Most High says, I don't need a heart that's going to be based upon mechanical commandments. You know? When you talk about the Shabbat, I want you to have some emotion attached to the Shabbat. I don't want you to go through a mechanical exercise with me. Well, we got to pick this bow and arrow and shoot today at 2 o'clock. So let's shoot it at 2 o'clock and then we'll do that until 3 and then we'll put it down and then we'll put the arrows back and that's it. Nobody's having any fun. Nobody's rejoicing. Nobody's enjoying the process. When we go through a mechanical way of approaching the Most High, it's a detriment to our hearts. When we see things this way, it's a detriment. This people, he talked about approach. The priests have to approach the Most High. And yes, at some point, they have approached him with nothing but mouth and lip service. Meaning, as far as they would go is what came out of their mouth. That's as far. They have nothing but words to say. That's all they have. That's all they have. It's nothing but words. Okay? And they have some mechanical actions, but they're not really heartfelt. So I want to discuss about what this heart is. What is this heart? If we're talking about approaching the Most High, we're talking about being installed. We're talking about this week of Chag Matzot. We have to look at the heart. And what is the heart? What is the heart? Let's find out.
The mind.
It's the mind. Listen what the Most High says. Listen to what the King of the universe said. Listen to the one who set Israel free from cruelty and harshness and slavery. Listen to what he says. Cursed is the person who trusts in man, who makes mere flesh his strength and turns his thoughts from YHWH. In our text, and when it's in English, it can be very deceitful, excuse me. This word right here, thoughts, is here, libo. The same word that we saw in our previous text about how they approach me. Okay? The Most High is saying, he said, perfectly. The Yahweh says, cursed. I'm going to spit on the man who trusts in Ba'adam, in humanity. Cursed and spit upon the person who puts their trust in humanity and sets the flesh of his arm as his strength. And Umin Yahweh the Yasur, turning from Yahweh, his mind. Your mind is your thoughts, and your thoughts will eventually translate into your actions. I'm going to spit upon the person who trusts in humanity. Humanity will let you down. Humanity will forsake you. Humanity doesn't even know their own way. They have to be taught. The Most High does not want us to put our trust in anyone who's human. Cursed is the person who puts his trust in JC the Christ. Cursed is the person who puts his trust in the Pope. Cursed is the person who puts their trust in the President of the United States of America or in Congress. If we turn our minds and our thoughts away from Yahweh, we're cursed. Cursed is the person who puts his trust in a woman. Cursed is the person who puts her trust in a man. The authority that has to be within us is from the Most High. The word libo, meaning his heart or its heart, has to do with the idea of the authority within. Our authority within us cannot be something that is conjured up from within us, like based on our own past experiences. We need an authority that's higher than us. We don't need to trust in the humanity. Okay, let me just go right here, just back just one little second here, just to bring more understanding about this trust. When the Most High talks about making flesh its or his strength, he's talking about that basar. How often do we fall for the flesh of someone? How often are we convinced because a person looks a certain way that they have nothing but good intentions for us based upon what we see with our eyes? Cursed is the person who's looking at the flesh. This is a higher level. This is a higher level of thinking. The words of the Most High are divine in nature. They only speak to the soul and the mind of a man and a woman, their essence of who they really are. It speaks to the authority that's within them. That word lav consists of two letters. We have here our letter lamed, which here it is, staff, authority, and yoke. That's the first letter of the word lav. A lot of you already know this. You're in my Hebrew class. The second letter has to do with the tent and the dwelling, right? Inside. So when you put those two letters together, you have the authority within. The authority would be the lamed, and this one right here would be the bet. And reverse it, of course, it'd be within authority. Okay? The authority and then within. That's what it is. So your mind is the authority, but your mind has to be governed by something stronger than you. Listen to what the Most High told Yirmiyahu, the prophet. He said, Akov halev, b'mikoli anush, dehu mi, the yeda enu. Most devious is the heart. It is perverse. Who can fathom it? The mind is devious. When you look at the text, you don't see what this really means. You go to English or Latin, and you'll find out, the word, it's like de means from. This is in Latin. And vi comes from this word via. That means the road or to travel. Okay. So devia or devious means to travel from the road. Okay. Meaning to go in another direction. Okay. That's what it means from a Latin perspective. And our English language is based on Latin. Okay. Well, look it up for yourselves. Hebrew, for us, this devious is a different word. Okay. But it has some of the same connotations. Okay. The word here for devious is used here called akov. Akov. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Akov. Akov halev. The mikol, the anushu mi yede enu. Well, what is that akov? What does akov sound like to you? Somebody tell me.
Yaakov.
Yaakov. So all I need to do is put a yod right here, and it'll be Yaakov. So the root of the name Yaakov is Akov. It's Akov. And Akov, and to be devious is to be secretive. So what the Most High is saying is that the mind is secretive and it's perverse, and who can fathom it? It leaves its course. What else do you know about Yaakov? What is Yaakov like?
Weak.
Yaakov is secretive. Yaakov is deceitful. Yaakov is slick. Yaakov does a lot of different things. That yod that we put up here is just, it's a letter that means he. That's all this means is he. And he is what? He is secretive. He is deceitful. He is a shyster. Okay? So the Most High is very aware of what's going on with the mind. Akov means to hold back. So if the Most High, and means to restrain the heel, because the name Akov means heel. Okay, so from a noun perspective, this is the noun, and this is the verb of the name. See, in Hebrew, words can actually mean verbs, and they can actually mean a noun. So the noun part is the heel, and the verb part is to hold back or to restrain. So what the Most High is saying is, it's not only that this mind that you guys have is not only secretive and is devious and is slick. Okay. He's saying that it is holding us back. It's restraining, it's stopping. Listen, it's stopping progress. It's stopping advancement. Our minds is stopping us from achieving the goal that we are supposed to go to, which is the mark, the destination. It is this holding back and restraining of the mind that's causing our family members not to move forward. And not just to talk about them, it's in our own households. It's not only our households, it's within ourselves. When they say that you and I are our greatest enemy, we're the greatest threat to our own success, they know what they're talking about. We're a cove. We're being held back by ourselves in the way that we think. And this is the reason why the Most High is telling us that you need a command from me. You need a different authority. You need a different thought process. Because cursed is the man who turns his thoughts away from Yahweh. A cove is crooked. The mind is crooked and it's perverse. Why? Because it departs and it deviates from the route that is straight. It has another plan. It's going to go in another way. Listen, the Most High has designed a path. The ancient path, the ancient ways. And what we're going to do and what the mind does, it says, listen, I'm going to take another route to get to the destination. I'm smarter than the Most High. I know what they would call, I got a shortcut. That's what I got. I got a shortcut to get to the destination. So I'm going to miss everything that the Most High has for me on his path. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to skip right past it. I'm going to do my own Pesach. I'm going to skip and hop right over what he said. Because the mind is crooked. And when you and I depart or deviate from the path in which the Most High has set, you and I are in trouble. The route in which one is to take is given by the commander. Just imagine, we're in war, and the commander tells us, this is the way I need you to attack and to approach it. And we decide, I know a shortcut. Have we not destroyed the plans? Have we not just minimized what our commander said? Have we not just introduced more of a problem? Have we just not compromised the battle plan? The mind is crooked. You cannot trust the mind. If somebody is not following the Torah of Yahweh, they cannot be trusted. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your wife. I don't care if it's your fiance. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your employer. I don't care who it is. They can't be trusted. Otherwise, why would the Most High say, spit upon the person and cursed is the person that turns and puts his trust in a human being? Because of the mind. Because Yah understands it and he knows what it's going to do. The Most High talks about in Jeremiah chapter number 18. This is an example of how the Most High has plans. Unlike our plans, he has a set of plans. In context, in this chapter, you can read it for yourself today if you like. He talks about how he feels about nations. And he gives this example to Jeremiah to tell him, hey, listen, when you go talk to Yehuda and its inhabitants of Yerushalayim, okay, thus saith Yahweh, I'm devising disaster for you, and I'm laying out plans against you. Turn back, each of you, from your wicked ways and mend your ways and your actions. From this word called ka shav. Ka, ch, ka. That's what this is. Ka. And then sh. It's a V sound. So ka, shav. Okay? Kashav. Kashav means to think. The Most High says, I'm thinking about disaster. The nations that don't do what he says, listen, I make plans to build up a nation. Okay, I can put plans together to build something up. I can plan it to prosper. I can plan all these different things for it. I can also plan disaster for a nation that turns against me. So he introduces Israel to the idea that he's in charge of all the nations. And he's saying, I don't have any difference between you and any of the other nations. A nation that goes against me is the one that I'm going to destroy and put and plan disaster for. But if it turns from its evil ways, I can turn back from what I wanted to do. Whether it is to destroy it, I can turn it and make it prosper. He's letting us know that I can do whatever I want to do. What's my point? You get your mind from the Most High. When he said, let us make man, he says, my part of me is the part of me that I want you to use, which is the thinking part. I've given you the ability to think like me. I've given you the ability to devise plans. I've given you the ability to create. I've given you the ability to lay things out. I've given you the ability. You get your thinking from me. And because you get it from me, you're accountable to me. But I don't want you to use your wickedness in your thinking. I know your wicked thinking would cause you to work and live a certain way. And I know that you'll do certain things. Thinking comes from the Most High because he's thinking his thoughts. Listen what he says about them. But they will say it is no use. There's no use. We will keep on following our own kashav, our own plans. Each of us will act in the willingness of his evil heart. Right here, libo. Right here, hara. Do you know when we have our story in Genesis, it talks about how they went into the garden and how he had a tree there and he told them not to eat of it. They ate of the tree willingly, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The hara right there is the evil that he's talking about. That evil is misery, and dysfunction. It's no use to follow the Most High. What we're going to do is we're going to stay on our own course. We have our own plans. Okay. So listen, he's telling them in the next verse. I just told you what he said in 18:11. This is what he said that they're going to say. Perfectly. He already knows what they're going to say. He already knows what's in their mind. He already knows what's in their heart. He already knows what's in their emotion. He already knows what you and I are going to do. Because this is what they're thinking. It's no use. Following Yah hasn't been beneficial to us, so we're going to keep doing what we want to do. We're stubborn. We're going to do what we want to do. It says that the most devious is the heart, the libo. It is perverse. Who can fathom it? Who can understand it? Who can know it? That word perverse there is for sick, anash. They got it here as anush, but it is Anash, still same letters, Aleph, Noon, and Shin. Same letters, Aleph, Noon, and Shin. Vowel points under here just tells you the general meaning. This here is how it's conjugated, telling you in what sense it is, what verb tense, whether it's in the past, present, and future, whether it's in a simple way, whether it's in a causative way, is it a passive way, is it an active way? Okay. So the point is that going back to our original text in Jeremiah, Yeremiah 17:9, this akov, this crookedness of this halev, okay, is of the mind, is from all, out of all, it is sick, and it's sick, and it is sick. It's sick. It, who right here, it is sick. What? The lid, the lav right here, the mind. This mind, this crooked mind, this secretive mind. This is what's causing the problems. He asked the question, me, meaning who, interrogative, who could da'enu, who could know it? Who understands this sickness, this perversity? Who understands it? Is it not the one who has made it, who has given it, who has formed it, who has shaped it, has put it in its place? He's not just talking about the neurological connections, the neurons. He's not talking about how it's sending messages to all parts of the body, how it regulates our temperature. He's not talking about that. He's talking about its internal power. All of our limbs, all of our organs, they hold a special power. We don't even know how powerful we are. But at this point, he says that the mind is sick. It's not only crooked, it's sick. Who can know it? Who understands it? Who knows it? Who's been intimate with it? Who has a relationship with it? Is it not YHWH? Who has it? Who understands it? Yada means to be intimate. Yah has been intimate with man. He knows it. He has a relationship, because that's what intimacy is. To know the deep things about it, the secrets. He knows it. He knows what's being hidden. He knows what it's going to be say. He knows how it's going to act. He understands how it plans, how it puts things together. Kind of like how he told Betziel to put the ephod together and to put the sash that goes around the robe with a certain weave and a certain thought on that belt with all the colors and gold. He understands that. Most High tells us in the same book, Yahweh probed the heart. Question was, who can know it? Who has been intimate with it? Is it just him knowing it and he's intimate and that's it? Or does the Most High go through a process? Our Elohim is an Elohim of process. He's an Elohim of detail. He's an Elohim of scrutinizing. Yahweh probe the heart, the mind, search the mind to repay every man according to his ways with the proper fruit of his deeds. That word is called ko-quer. Ko-quer. Ko. That's that. Quer. Q-E-R. That's what you get right here. Ko-quer. Okay? So ani Yahweh. Ko-quer. This dot right here is telling us something. That O sound is telling you something. It's an ing. It's a present tense. I am in the process of it right now. Now, today, I'm probing, not probe, I'm probing the heart. I'm examining it like you would for an offering. Why? Why am I after the law? Why am I looking at your law? Why am I looking at your authority within? Why? Why am I looking at your law? Your authority within? What am I really probing? What am I really looking for? I would propose that the Most High himself is examining our law in order to find out whether or not it is being governed by his authority. If it's being governed by his authority, is according to his plan. His plan for your life and my life. Yisrael. Yah has a plan for us. And the only way that that plan will ever come to life is through his authority, which is the Zah, the command. I'm examining to find out if you're going to keep the command. I'm finding out whether or not you're being governed by my authority. I want to know if this crooked, perverse mind is willing to be led on the straight path that I have designated for it. That's what I'm doing right now. Not past tense, not future tense. Today, I'm probing your heart, your mind. I'm seeing whether or not your thoughts are bent on what I said and commanded. David says something to us. He said, Yahweh roe the Lord saw the ben of deshe. Yahweh seni all men in minakota yanahalani. Nafshi the Yoshevev Yakeni Vamagale. Bezedek the Lama an Shemo. Yahweh is my shepherd. He's my roi. I lack nothing. He has me lie down in grassy pastures. He leads me by quiet water. He restores my inner person, winning my soul, my nafshaka, and he guides me, Nahalani, in the paths for his own name's sake, the right paths, the Zedek, the Lama an Shemo, for the sake of the righteousness. He leads me down these paths because of his reputation and his name. Why did I introduce Roe? I introduced Roe because Yah is the one who is guiding us along our way. And if he's our shepherd, right? And he's the one who's guiding us. The Rosh right here, writing out the Hebrew name for the letter, is a Rosh, which represents a head. Okay. Ayin has to do with the eye. Let me write it in. Let me stay consistent. Name of the letter is called Ayin, which is the eye. Okay. So you see, we have names for the letter, and we have what it really means from an agricultural perspective, right? So these are your nouns. Okay. See that? And then not only do we have that, but now that we have actions. Each one of these things does something. The eye is just not there, just sitting there, okay, not doing anything. It has a function, okay? The function of the eye is to see. or to look, or to observe. The head does something. The head turns. So the looking, the seeing, the turning are the verbs. See? So you got verbs and you got nouns. So why is the word roi, right, used for a shepherd? Because the one who is the head is the one who's not only looking, but it's the one who's constantly watching the sheep. That's why he's the shepherd. He's always the head of the sheep is the shepherd, and he's constantly watching the sheep because that is his desire. And that's the desire of the shepherd, to watch out for the sheep, to make sure that they have everything they need. That's why they're not lacking. That's why David said, this is the reason why you want to make Yahweh the shepherd. I know in the New Testament, they call Christ the shepherd in chapter number 8 of the book of John and said he's the good shepherd. Ezekiel said the Most High is the shepherd. David said the Most High is the shepherd. YHWH is the shepherd. What's the difference between Christ of the New Testament and YHWH? How has Christ been watching over us? How has he helped us? Has he been a companion? How many things did not know when you came into this way of life? Christianity didn't teach us anything except for to make excuses and blame other people and pass the buck. Our shepherd doesn't do that. Our shepherd is the one who causes us to be in safety. He's the one who causes us to learn. He's the one, when he talks about laying down in grassy pastures and leading by quiet water, this is an experience of companionship with the Most High, dealing with relationship. He's restoring the inner person. You and I are on a journey with the Most High. You see? And he's leading us down his paths, the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He's a roe. He is the one who's watching and seeing. So when I said he's investigating and he's examining, he examines his sheep, has a careful, watchful eye, and he's also seeing whether or not they're going to listen to what he says. The same person, same king, the same one who used to be a shepherd said this, create a pure heart for me, O Elohim, and establish in me a steadfast spirit. Psalms 51. Again, our word, lav, is in there. That's that mind. I need a tahor. I need one of purity. I want you to use the same word that you use to create the heavens and the earth. I need you to create that to me and for me. Le Elohim. And the way ruach and the nakon, that nakon is the establishment where you get your word kon from, or kan, meaning let it be so. And also too, the palm of the hand, which is the kaf, and the lamed is the staff. Oh, that's not the lamed, that's the noon, excuse me. The noon is the seed. The seed means a continuation. It means growth and development. It needs to examine. When you have the seed in your hand, you see what it is. Once it goes in your hand, you look at it and then you plant it. You plant that seed in the ground. Once it goes into the ground, it then develops a root. The root is what establishes it so it can grow the right way. David is asking for purity of heart, purity of mind, in order for him to be established. The same one that he calls his shepherd is the same one he's asking for the Most High to create something in him and for him. It's for him. And you and I have a right to ask the Most High to do the same for us. That's why it was written. David is known to be the what? The man after Yah's own heart. Is he really after Yah's heart, or is he really after Yah's mind? He's the man of Yahweh's mind. He's the man who gave himself over to Yahweh's mind. Yes, he made a mistake, but he gave his mind over to the Most High. And the only way that a man and a woman can have the mind of Yah is if they have purity of mind. Purity is not just sexual. Purity has to do with the way you think. Instead of you want to live a crooked life and an underhanded life in a life of restraint and restraining somebody from progress, it's a mind that says, I'm ready to advance. I'm ready to be elevated. I'm ready to do what you want me to do. I'm ready to carry out your plans. And I need a pure heart for that. I can't carry out your plans when I'm an adulterer. I cannot carry out your plans when I'm an idolater. I cannot carry out your plans when I'm deceitful. I cannot carry out your plans when I'm disobedient. Because your plans is your command. I need to be established in this. I need a path. I need you to renew my mind. That's what I need. When I talk about a steadfastness, I need something that's going to be established, where it's going to be steady and it's not wandering all over the place. Because I'm trying to decide whether or not I should trust in a human being, or trust in a woman, or trust in a man, trust in a job, trust in education, trust in something other than Elohim. David had told the Most High, "Oh Yahweh, you have examined me." Kakwar, you have. Perfect tense, you have examined me, and you know me. This is way after Psalms 51. He came to the conclusion that Yahweh, Kakwar, the Tani, the Watera, you know me. There's that Dalit. And there's that iron. That's the door of the eye. What have you done? You see me. You see me. You've inspected me. You inspect every single detail about my life. Why? Why would Yah inspect us in such a manner? Why would he look at every single detail? Do you not understand that the world was created on details? Every element, every fiber of our being is perfect. It was a great detail. You and I are not afterthoughts to the Most High. This world that we live in is not an afterthought. Great detail in the seasons. Great detail for the winter and the spring. Great detail in the cycles of life. Great detail in color. Great detail. Praise Yah for the inspection, for the examination, for him to take the time. What is man that you're so mindful of him? Why do you spend so much time? Why would he take so much time looking at the details of our lives? To make sure that you and I are perfect before him. because that's the only way that will be received. And it takes work, and he's willing to do the work. Some people have walked past our lives and don't even care. They don't even take the time to examine and see what's important to us. But not our Elohim. He sees our needs, he sees our desires, and he takes notice of it. He's not an Elohim afar off, he's an Elohim that's near. We should thank him for this process, this inspection. The inspection of one's inner person, their inner soul. The very essence of who they are and what it means to him. We're all different. We're all special to the Most High. He's taken the time to give us the inspection so we would be made right. David has said, when I sit down or I stand up, you know it. You know me, you inspect me, you know it. You discern my thoughts from afar. A word being here used. We don't have the word laven here. It's not there. So where's my thoughts? They're right here. La rei. It has the same letters as ro, e, but they have a different pronunciation. Same letters. So when David said that when I sit down or I stand up, you know about it. We're his sheep. And he knows when you and I lay down. He knows when we stand up. He's always watching us. He knows our purpose. That word roe or rei means my purpose. He knows my intention. He knows my aim. He's so intimate with us. He knows what our desires are, and he knows what we want. And even though he knows that we're contrary to him. And he knows that we're crooked. He knows that we're obstinate. He knows that we're stubborn. He still understands. He knows our purpose, and he still directs us in the path that he chooses to bring the best out in us so we will be accepted to him. It's of his work. Our hearts are far away from him, as he told us that we honor him with our mouths and our lips. But our hearts are far away from him. But as far away from him as we are, he's close to us. He understands our purpose and our thoughts. And he discerns it. And it says here, it says that Yadata, perfectly he knows. He knows it. He's intimate with it. He sees it. I say to you today that Yahweh is a wonderful shepherd. I say that he's a wonderful shepherd because our thoughts are connected to our shepherd, and he's leading us down the path of righteousness for his name's sake. David had also mentioned that you've observed my walking, my reclining, as this sheep that I am. And you're familiar with all my ways. You try to benefit. It's not that he doesn't understand. The Most High wants his walk with us to be beneficial for us. He says, you know all my ways. My ways is when I'm on your path, you know my ways because you're watching me. You're constantly watching me because I'm on your path. And based on me being on that path of uprightness and righteousness, I'm being benefited. I'm going to the places that I'm supposed to be. I'm not crooked enough to go take another direction on another path that has nothing to do with you. And you're not the shepherd on that path. Yah does not shepherd multiple paths. He gives out a path, and that's the path that he's on, and that's the path that you and I should be on. Because Yahweh is our Roeh. And he understands our Re'ah. He understands our purpose. And he's beneficial as our shepherd to us. He benefits us in our ways. He benefits us in our families. He benefits us on our jobs. He benefits us with the food and the clothing and the shelter. We're benefited by the Torah and the teaching of the Most High. Why? Why with the Most High, Bakan? Why would he search this mind? I, Yahweh, probe, and I search. Two different words. Bakan here means I'm going to put the mind on trial. I'm going to put the mind on trial. And the word mind here is not the lave anymore. It's called the kalayos, meaning I'm going to put the kidneys on trial. I'm going to put the kidneys, I'm going to put the emotions on trial. I'm going to find out if your heart is really into it. I'm going to find out if your deepest emotional connection to me is there. Because I'm looking for the best. When I talk about searching and putting on trial, I'm trying to find out if it's worthy to be selected. I got to put it and test it to find out. That's what I have to do. But because Bakan has to do with the choice. I'm looking for the choicest. I'm looking for the best. I'm looking for that which is the strongest. I'm not looking for the weakest. Like you've been told by your Christian counterparts and your pastors. I'm looking for that which is strong. So when I give my command, it'll carry it out. And I have to test you and I have to put your heart on trial. I got to put your emotions on trial. To find out if you're really connected, if you're strong enough to endure what I'm asking you to do. Because if you're weak and you're lame and you're broken, you won't be accepted. Not in that state. You will not be accepted. I'm the one who Bakan. I put the kidneys on trial. That word that was mentioned there, the kalayos, is found in our Torah portion, YHWH, chapter 8, verse 25 through 28. He took the fat, the protection, and the fat tail, and the fat that's covering the inner organs, and the covering of the liver, and the two kidneys, which are the kalayos. In their fat, with their fat, in the right thigh, and from the basket of matzah that was there before Yahweh, he took one piece of matzah, one cake of oiled bread, and one wafer, and placed them on the fat and on the right thigh. And he put them in Aaron's hands and in the hands of his sons, and he waved them as a wave offering before Yahweh. Moshe took them out of their hands and made them go up and smoke on the altar and on top of the burnt offering, and they were a consecration offering, a milo or milu, which is an installation offering, giving a fragrant aroma, and an offering made by fire to Yahweh. The kidneys, the matzah, the consecration. Yahweh is concerned with a deep affection, not only that he has for his people, but whether or not his people have a deep affection for him. You can't offer nothing to Yahweh without a deep affection and without sincerity. You can't keep this festival of matzah without a deep affection For what? For the Torah and for the command. You cannot keep this festival of matzah without going through a process of consecration. Every single day that you have an opportunity to eat the matzah, you should eat it and think about the Most High and think about what he has done for his people, the children of Israel, and what his intention is for the whole entire world. I say shalom. I say behold in your mind. I say behold in all things. To behold in your levavika, in your nafshika. In uvakol meodika. I say Shema Yisrael. Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Wahabta et Yahweh Eloheka. Elibekol levavika. Uvakol nafshika. Uvakol meodika. Wahayu dahadavarim haele. Ashera noki ne matzawe. Dahayom ne oli levavika. Which is to say, listen and obey, Israel. Yahweh, our Eloheinu. Yahweh is one. He's Echad. And love, ahavta, you are to love Eth, Yahweh, your Eloheka, possessive, your Elohim, Bekol, with all a tamed heart, which is your mind. You're supposed to love him with all of your soul, your desires. You're supposed to love him with what? All of your meodika, your resources. Moses told us that Wahayu, this exists to us. To us. These words, Ha-davarim, Ha'ele, these are the words that exist to us, in which Asher, I have commanded. There's your word, Zah, Matzaka, Matzafaka. I have commanded on this day upon your levavika, upon your heart, upon your mind. I want to give you that command. I wanted to end our teaching today with that in mind. There's no way for us to be with Yah if we're not going to be whole and if we're not going to give him all of our hearts, our minds, our souls, and our resources. This is what the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov has commanded me to teach you today. And now I would like to turn this over to our game.
Okay, can you share it?
I'm going to try to, my dear. Let's see what's going on. Maybe if you could, it's trying to start it, but for whatever reason, it's tripping on me. Let's do this. Let's see for you to start it on your end. Let's see if we can do that, okay? All right, so let me stop the share right quick, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do some security features, and I'm going to see if you can do it. Go ahead and try to, you can share your screen, Paul, if you can, because it won't pull up on mine for whatever reason. I don't know. Cool. Let's see if you can get it now. All right. Give everybody their code. Live game. Sorry, it's taking a few extra seconds to load. Hang in there. until that's going on, I'd like to thank every last one of you for participating today in our Shabbat teaching. I'm a little overwhelmed when I think about how the Most High has been so loving and kind to us. Uh-oh. All right, y'all know what to do. Hey! Hello, Miss Raven. Dude. Hey, turn your music down. Turn your music down. Hey, you can mute your music.
Turn it down?
Yeah, just turn your music down. Oh no, it's okay. Because guess what? It's fine. Because when you do it, isn't the woman going to speak? You got a feature on her, right? Do you have any more contestants? Does anybody else want to join the game with Lucas and Mal? Okay, we got Kavika coming in. Kavika is one of our top players coming in. All of our big changing the game. Look at your red.
No, you're in there, Malachi.
Your red and Malachi is in there with some glasses on. Uncle T fam is always that eagle with them heart glasses on. You be killing me. And look at Lucas. Lucas, why you? Oh, because you're from Canada. That's right. So you're the moose. Okay. All right. So, look at Kawika.
You got it.
Okay, so listen, anyone else who'd like to join, you could go ahead and join on your mobile
You on,
device.
Kenneth?
You can join on a oh, there's Ken. Ken has joined the game. Okay, well, look at that little monkey with a helmet. There's a lot of great players on here. Did someone disappear? Let's see. No, looks like we can wait on someone else. Those of you who are watching live by stream, you can actually join right now with putting in a game code. Go to www.kahoot.it, and you can put this actual number in. You don't actually have to be on this class to do this. It's pretty fun, but it's something nice that you can do. So put your code in 859-5046, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, Qua, you can go ahead. You guys remember, when you're doing this, right? Uh-oh. Have fun. That's all I can tell you. Be quick. Turn it up.
How to get the host?
That's good. Continue. Okay, let's see who we got going. Who's cooking? Let's see who got cooking. All right. So now listen, we got Dr. Ured. He's always taking a strong position when he first comes out of the gate. He's really strong. You know, Pam is always behind him. Kavika, top player, Lucas and Malachi. Those are really great, strong players. Hey, what happened? What happened?
Oops.
Stop touching stuff.
There we go. Ooh, let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. Again, Qua, I see Dr. Ured, he kind of fell off there with.
Good. Everybody's paying attention.
Yeah, that's it. What do you think, Qua? I mean, it just seems like
Can't talk.
Can
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just, it's a
Oh,
delayed.
okay. All
The
right.
red has
next.
the highest answer streak of, of threes. He's great. Should be easy.
Ooh,
Oh, wow. That was interesting.
we have Kavika taking the lead
Wow.
from the third position.
Wow. That was,
She's really coming in strong.
I know. Have you noticed how she does that on every single test? I mean, it's amazing. I'm surprised. Wait, okay. Okay. Go ahead.
She really has good form.
She does. Malachi does too. He's very strong. I don't understand what he's may just not have it today. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe McKenna might show up from somewhere. Haven't heard from her today.
It's just
All
quite
right.
surprising.
Okay, let's see if anybody read their Haftorah.
Let's see what's going on. Oh, boy.
Mr. Dr. Yared coming up. Malachi is
See how
in the
Lucas-
in he's trailing in the lead in the back there.
I know it's unfortunate, but as you see, Lucas has kind of made his way, and he has the highest answer streak of 5 in a row. I mean, it might just be because
He's really
not going-
coming on strong, yeah. hmm
Yeah, he does.
The man
yeah.
from the north. Those are some filthy hands. Oh, and Lucas has taken
Oh,
the
Lu-
lead.
Oh my goodness, Lucas is the highest streak of answering 6. He's even faster. What's going on? I think Dr. Yared is he's still there though. He's in there. Akoti Pam is one who you need to watch out for though.
Ooh. Let's see.
That was pretty fast. Let's see what happened there.
Lucas is still strong.
Still strong. I don't see Ken Bear on here. What happened?
I don't know. Maybe she's sleeping in the game. Malachi, I haven't heard from him lately either. Ooh, everybody's been reading their Torah portion, it looks like today.
Well, that's what happens
Oh,
when you read.
Lucas is still strong. Where's everybody else? Dr. Yared?
I don't know. I don't understand.
He's
really
leaving everyone in the dust.
I'm surprised, but not really. I'm a little disappointed in McKenna. I don't understand. She's supposed to be up here.
This one is a tricky one.
I know. It's the one that got me. Yeah, it's the one that got me. It seems like other contestants have actually fell
Kavika's
off.
back on the top.
That was a real strong move. That was a very strong move. Considering we're like almost at the end here, I think everyone's going to have to, go a little harder this time.
Well, if you're not paying attention, you won't understand that question.
Right. So now we see the importance of following the Torah portion and understanding what these offerings. Oh my goodness, this is a strong lead. This is great. I'm just surprised. I thought the eagle was definitely going to land.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, I must say,
Lucas is a very detail-oriented player.
It is. Yeah. But don't count out Sister Pam. Don't count.
Okay, well, Malachi's still on the board too, so.
Still there. He's still pushing. It just needs to be a little bit faster and quicker. And maybe he can make some double points on this one. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to really pay attention here.
Yeah, it's the map.
Oh, it's over there.
About the details.
Hmm. Putting things in order is key for
Yeah.
Israel. Listening.
Observation.
Mhm. Very strong skills. Oh, let's see.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh,
And Lucas
this
is
is
still
tight.
coming in. Malachi
This is
came
tight.
up
Now
in the
listen, this is
rear.
the last question. Malachi
All
just
right.
coming up. This is about speed, okay, and getting the right answer. So listen,
Okay.
everyone, this is your last and final question. Pay attention. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Oh boy, you keep calling.
They answered that one really, really fast. All
Better.
right, let's see who's going to be the winner here. Third place,
Oh!
Kavika.
Oh!
And for the man from the north.
Let's give it up. Yeah, let's give it up.
Let's give it up for
Tamika and Dr. Credit.
runners
give
up.
it up.
We have
Praise God.
Malik.
Thank you.
Praise Yah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that, Rivqua. That was really nice. All right. So thank you, everyone. I'm going